good morning and welcome back to the GDFL Netball Show. Of course, as everyone knows, we have Terry Corrie in with us this week from the Bellpost Hill Netball Club. Terry, how do you think the team's shaping up at the moment with two games to go before finals? You must be pretty happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, we're finding ourselves happy with where we're at the moment. We've got 2 games in front of us that we believe we can get over the line, and the expectation is within our own group is that we should. But anything can happen on the day, I guess. But we're looking to consolidate that 3rd spot and then take it from there.
Looking over the season, you've beaten Thompson, and they've beaten you. You've beaten Winch. You've beaten North. Of course, no one's beaten Werribee just yet. But I found it really. You've had some really good games, but then last week against Inverleigh, you've just scraped home over the line against Inverleigh. In the first round you played Inverleigh, you beat them by 30 goals. Now that sort of worries me a bit of consistency's there. One week you're out and smashing teams, and then next week you're only just crawling over the line against teams that probably you should beat comfortably. Is that sort of a worry for you?
Look, I've had a good look at that. We've copped not a fair bit of stick, but questions have been raised about what happened against Inverleigh and the consistency of the side. Mm-hmm. As I said earlier, it's a little bit of an illusion when you look at teams like Thompson that have got players in and out, and Nicole Trainer missing games here and there. Winchelsea, we could run around and say that we beat Winch, but we certainly haven't beat Winch's lineup as yet.
Full side.
Both sides were depleted that day, and we won't find that out till finals come along.
Yep.
Inverleigh, I did a bit of a background on it myself because when we played them the first time, what I calculated was, and I don't want to get development mixed up with recruitment, but only 3 players that played for Inverleigh the first time we played them played this time. Looking at the team sheet, we had, they had I don't know the guys, but Elisa Jones, Mel Holmes and Brooke Walters, who to me were senior players. Mm-hmm. And to judge the development side of it, which I was looking for in Inverleigh, same as what I am for Geelong West this week, I want to see the development in them from the first time we played them to this time around. But whether they had injuries or so forth, certainly wasn't the same lineup, and they really pushed us to the post. And questions were asked afterwards because we meet after every game, and to get over the line by 5 or 6 goals as opposed to 30 goals, it took me a bit of digging to find the answers, but they were certainly good on the day.
Yep.
But in reflection to the first round, it was a different lineup that we come up against. So that gave us a little bit of heart to know that we hadn't slipped that far down.
Yep.
To the same side we played first time round. And you'll find that with teams as the season goes on.
Was your lineup the same?
As well? No. We had both Sonanu and Shirin, both the Samoan girls out, but they've been out for a few weeks now. Mm-hmm. Amanda Grant did an ankle in the first quarter, and to her credit, she struggled through till the second quarter and then got to the point where she couldn't walk. So, and the conditions on the day, they were very, very windy conditions, and both sides had to cop that. But at the end of the day, we were happy to get over the line as well. But certainly got a bit of a rattle when we sort of went into that first quarter. I think they won 3 out of the 4 quarters, as did Corio against us on the weekend. They won the first 3 quarters. We only won 1 quarter. Sorry, we won the first quarter and they won the next 3. But when as I said before, when you look at scores against teams, I don't like to get the development part mixed up with the recruitment part. So whether they've recruited in the interim, which it looks like they possibly have, that's good for the club. Or whether there was a heap of injuries, I'm not sure.
So what you're saying, everyone's sort of singing Mandy Lyman's praises down in Inverleigh this year because of the way she has got the team playing netball. But that first time you played them, they only had 3 girls played against you in that first time. They actually played against you again in the second round. Yeah,
that was Lauren Ferry played both games against us. Young Tori Miller. Yep. And Nicole White. They were the 3 that played the 2 games against us. So whether others have come through the ranks, I'm not sure, but certainly had improved. But the playing list that I would look at for improvement would have been the team that come on the court the first time round. Yep. Like if I went out this week against Geelong West, I've got it written down who we're coming up against. We do the matchups on the whiteboards at training in the club. We look at strengths and weaknesses on opponents. where did we get beaten individually? Where can you improve? What was your opponent's strength? And then when we went out against Inverleigh with the mismatch or the different lineup, very hard to combat because we'd gone out with a train of thought that we were going to work on strengths and weaknesses to who we played before. But yeah, look, obviously they've recruited pretty well and good on them. And I'm sure that the development side is going well. Well, as a team, they've developed on the scoreboard. So,
well, I suppose it makes a little bit of sense because when you look at Inverleigh's result against East Geelong on the weekend, they've just got over East Geelong by 2 goals.
Well, what happened there? That's what I'm getting.
That doesn't make sense, does it? If they can beat you, if they can just lose to you by 4 or 5, and yet only just beat East Geelong by 2, then you think, hey, what's going on there? Something doesn't add up. Like all the girls that played against you the second time round maybe didn't play last week against East Geelong, and they've had maybe, let's say, the team from the first round, the first time they played you, they played against East on the weekend, and that's why it was such a close game, because East are decimated with injuries and with girls that have left the club this year, and so everyone has sort of expected Inverleigh to romp it on the weekend, which they didn't.
Well, I would have thought, I certainly would have backed them in against East Geelong by 15-20. But like I said, I don't know what their structure is out there. I'm not really sure what they've done in the interim, but it's certainly worked for them as a club. And it's unfortunate because I think they've won 7 games now.
Yep.
And if they have recruited, it would have been good to do it earlier, to get more wins on the board, to actually make the finals, because they'd be competitive. Well, against us, they certainly were. And that's taking nothing away from, we had a player or two missing here or there. When we played you guys, same thing. There's players missing all over the place, week in, week out.
Yep.
But, the business end starts in 2 weeks.
Exactly right. Exactly right. All right, just looking back on the rest of last week's games, Winch 43 defeated in what was a very close game, North Geelong 40. And Winch just getting over the line there by a couple of goals. Flick, what happened out there?
I know that Winch had a bit of a mixed bunch this week. We had a few girls out, so that's about all I know. I wasn't there for the game, to tell you the truth.
Pre-record that? You say that every week.
Pardon?
You say that every week.
I don't pre-record. It just seems to be what happens. I don't find out until the Saturday.
I want to get a photo of you all together to say I've actually seen them all together.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
Wish I was the president of Winch, wouldn't have turned down the games at all. Just do what I want.
Settle down.
Like Winch.
So Cara Jupp played, I see.
Cara Jupp played, yes, with Min there in goaling. So we're missing Julia Knott, Amy Worth and Lauren, I believe. So both of our main defenders there.
That's a big loss, those 3 girls.
Yeah. I know Renee Pilkington, who's got that injury, she stepped up for half a game. So
plantar fascia, she's come back.
That's right. We still wouldn't have been at a full strength there in the centre court, but would have tried our hardest there as well. So we knew it would be a close game and very physical. So
yeah,
as always.
Probably in a couple of weeks' time, Winch North will play again.
Yeah.
So that'll be close.
Yep.
We'll go to a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.